4 games out of first place, chasing the red-hot Chicago Cubs. Same story for the Indians. They've got a hot club in their division, the Minnesota Twins, who now have the best record in baseball at 9-2, and the Twins have won 5 in a row, and the Twins have opened up a 3.5-game lead on the Indians, who are in third place at 6-6. White Sox, between the Indians and Twins, they're playing well. They have won a grand total of 6 straight, and the Sox are 7-4. And of course, the Indians will again get a first-hand look at that Chicago White Sox ball club when the Indians travel there for a weekend series. This is about as quick a homestand as you can have. 2 games here at home for the Indians, then they go to Chicago for the weekend to play the Sox. Next week, they're home for 2 games against the Cubs, and they go back on the road and play Detroit and Pittsburgh in a 6-game road trip. The Indians have taken the field, and tonight Mike Clevenger will be on the hill, and it'll be the major league debut as a starting pitcher for the youngster T.J. Antone, who's worked 1 time in relief, but it'll be his first ever major league start. And Mike Clevenger, of course, now veteran on this Indians staff. The umpires, it's the same batch of umpires that did the Indians Twins 4-game series, and it's the same crew that was in Cincinnati, and they'll do both games here in Cleveland. Jeremy Rehak behind the plate, Jerry Meals, the crew chief, at first, Ed Hickox at second, Jordan Baker at third. 325 down the lines. It's 370 to left center, 375 to right center, 400 to dead center. The 19-foot wall from the left field corner to center field, and then from center field to the right field corner, a 9-foot wall. Mike Clevenger, he is 29 years of age. He is 6'4". He is 215 pounds. He made his major league debut for these Cleveland Indians way back in 2016, and he made it in Cincinnati. And Clevenger will be facing the Reds for the 4th time in his career. He's had a tough time with the Reds. His record is 1-1, but his ERA against Cincinnati just a shade over 6. So he'll try to get it going here tonight. Clevenger with the mid-90s fastball, the curve, the slider, and the changeup. And, of course, his good buddy will be in the first base dugout, probably heckling him all night long, that being Trevor Bauer. At one point before rain wiped out the matchup, it was going to be Trevor Bauer and Mike Clevenger against each other here in Cleveland, but that will not be the case now, and Trevor Bauer will certainly, I'm sure, make his presence known to Mike Clevenger from that first base dugout tonight. They are extremely good friends. Shogo Akiyama will lead it off, the left-handed hitting left fielder. Clevenger into the windup. His first pitch is swung on, banged on the ground into shallow right, going to his left. Hernandez gloves, does that spin and throw, and he gets Akiyama. 1 pitch, 1 out, and we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario with a game-time temperature of 72 degrees. Here's Nick Castellanos, the right-handed hitting right fielder. He's moved up from the 3-hole to the number 2 spot. He's swinging the bat better than anybody in the National League. He leads the National League in home runs, in extra base hits, and in RBIs, and is 6th in the National League in batting average. What a start for the longtime Detroit Tiger. Indians overload the left side of the infield with 3. The outfield bunching him toward the gaps, medium deep, and Clevenger misses outside, ball 1. Jordan Luplow in left, Oscar Mercado in center, and Bradley Zimmer in right. Carlos Santana at first. Cesar Hernandez at second. Frankie Lindor at short. Jose Ramirez at third. Sandy Leon catching. Clevenger drops one in there. It's a called strike, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Clevenger, 6'4", 215, 29 years of age. Clevenger works first base side of the rubber, feet close together, delivers, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Another good slider, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Castellanos signed a 4-year contract with the Cincinnati Reds in the offseason. as he became a free agent. The pitch to him from Mike Clevenger. And Castellanos takes and strike three called. Locked him up with another good breaking ball. So Castellanos not seeing many fastballs lately from Indians pitching. And why? Well, because he's hitting .368 with 6 homers and 13 RBIs. Make him hit the breaking ball. First strikeout for Clevenger. 2 quick outs here in the first. No score, and the Indians overload the right side of the infield as Joey Votto is hitting third tonight. He had been hitting second. The left-handed hitter looks at a high fastball at 95 miles an hour for ball 1. Joey Votto, talk about an absolute anomaly now in the game. The pitch to him, and it's in there, strike, 1-1. 7 walks, 1 strikeout this season. Nobody does that anymore. Votto hitting .273, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. Outfield playing him the other way toward left. Infield playing him to pull to the right. The pitch, and he bounces one into shallow right. The second baseman, Hernandez, will throw him out. Heck of a first inning for Mike Clevenger, as he has an A.J. Antone. And the right-hander facing Cesar Hernandez, the wind and pitch, and it's a little bit outside, ball 1. He's got a mid-90s fastball. He can throw a sinker, curve, slider, changeup. Hernandez batting left-handed, fouls it off, and the count 1-1. Antone had a heck of a major league debut when he pitched in relief against the Chicago Cubs. Here's the wind and 1-1 showing bunt. Hernandez takes the high heat, and it's 2 balls and a strike. But that was way back on July 27th. It's been his only appearance this summer, and it was his major league debut, and it was a good one. 2-1 pitch is swung on, fouled into the glove of the catcher, Tucker Barnhart. 2-2. He went 4 1/3 innings in relief, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 5 and walked 1. Slider breaks down and in, and a full count on Cesar Hernandez, leading off for the Indians. And the first 4 Indians hitters, switch hitters, 5 switch hitters in the lineup tonight. Into the motion, the 3-2, and it's swung on, fouled him back of the plate, and we'll do it again at 3-2. T.J. Antone. Normally when you think of the name T.J., it's the initials for something else, maybe whatever, Thomas Joseph or Timothy Jonathan, whatever. The 3-2, a swing and a bouncing ball right to first. Big hop handled by Votto. Long underhand flip to the pitcher, Antone covering, and that is out number 1. However, for T.J. Antone, T.J. is his first name, not initials. He spells his first name T-E-J-A-Y. One word, T.J. Antone. 6'4", 230. He is 26 years of age. His high school teammate growing up in Texas, Noah Syndergaard. That pitch in there, a strike slider to Jose Ramirez. And again, how'd you like to be that high school baseball coach? You've got Antone and Syndergaard in your rotation. Pitch in tight, and he almost nicked him as Ramirez jumps back. And the count 1-1. Antone, out of high school, went to TCU for 1 year and then transferred to a junior college. So he was eligible for the draft in 2 years. The pitch down and in, the back foot that got Ramirez jumping out of the way, and he fell to the turf thinking he might have been hit. The Reds thought he might have swung, but he didn't. And the count 2-1. Jose in an 0-for-15 slide. The batting average is .279. Couple of homers, 6 RBIs. So T.J. Antone behind in the count to Ramirez. Reds have 3 on the right side of the infield. Jose batting left-handed, the pitch. And he went to the outside corner with a good changeup. Called strike, 2-2. That's his first changeup tonight. He's throwing his changeup in the upper 80s. Fastball consistently mid-90s. He delivers, and upstairs, missed with it, full count. So T.J. Antone was drafted in the 5th round by the Reds in 2014. The pitch. Swung on, skied in the air, shallow right. Van Meter, the second baseman, is there to pull it down, and that is out number 2. Mike Moustakas not able to go and play second base for the Reds. He's out with a quad injury, and even Mike Moustakas doesn't know how he hurt the quad. Can't remember anything in any game in which he injured his quad, but he's out with that quad injury. Hey, to get your best deal on any new or used car, go to Sunnyside Toyota in North Olmsted, or check out all of their inventory and their current specials online at mysunnysidetoyota.com. No score in the first, and a back foot slider has Lindor skipping out of the way. Francisco Lindor, .229 batting average, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. No score first inning, bases empty, 2 down, and Antone delivering. Lindor grounding it foul first base side. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. The Indians as a team now batting .183 and averaging less than 3 runs a game. Now the 1-1 and time called as Antone started into his windup, and Lindor got a late timeout from home plate ump Jeremy Rehak. Now the pitch. Swung on a little dribbler into the shift. Right side charged by Galvis. Shortstop flips to first. And Lindor and the Indians have a quiet inning. And we go to inning number 2. Mike Clevinger is making his 3rd start. He's 0-1 with a .491 ERA. So far, averaging 6 innings a start. He averages 9 strikeouts, 4 walks per 9 innings. He's been victimized by the long ball, giving up 4, tops in the American League. First ball swinging, Eugenio Suarez lines one to the first baseman, Carlos Santana, who was well off the line. And Suarez, who got his first home run of the season last night, is out number 1. Dollar Bank is proud to be the official retail bank of the Cleveland Indians. Dollar Bank continues to be fully committed to customer needs, and they have been since 1855. The left-handed hitting DH, this is Jesse Winker. He and a lot of the Reds off to slow starts. And Winker takes a little outside a ball. He is batting .115 with an RBI. Indians almost in a shift. Lindor just a tad behind the bag at second at short. And the pitch is low. 2-0. Mike Clevinger had the rough outing Friday night in Minnesota. Really, the rough first inning. He gave up the 3 runs in the first inning. Gave up 3 homers in that game. The pitch, and it's a backdoor slider for a strike. 2-1. So Clev working on his normal 4 days rest. Ended up going 4 innings Friday night, giving up 4 runs. 3 home runs. Looks sharp tonight. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball up. And Winker tried to hold up. Went around. 2-2. Friday night, Clevinger just had command issues. Couldn't get ahead in the count. And Clevinger also had trouble with 5 walks. Different story here tonight. Into the motion, 2-2. Swung on a little floater to left, and this is going to drop for a base hit. So Winker flips one the other way to left, and the Reds have their first hit in this scoreless second inning. And Nick Senzel, the center fielder, to the plate, batting .304 with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Senzel, one of the top hitting prospects in all of baseball. Second pick in the draft in 2016. Reds got a good one out of the University of Tennessee. The pitch, Senzel swings and misses at the breaking ball. If he could just stay healthy. last year, Senzel tore the labrum in his right shoulder. That's his throwing arm. Had surgery in September. He would not have been ready for the start of this year had it not been for the pandemic. Now the 0-1 swings and misses at a slider, 0-2. Last year, he also missed 3 weeks with a bad ankle sprain. In the minor leagues in 2018, he was out over 3 months with a broken finger and then vertigo. Here's the set and the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Oh, that's catcher's interference. He swung and missed, but he hit the catcher's mitt, Sandy Leon, and that's going to be a free base. Senzel goes to first on catcher's interference. That does not count as an official at bat, and the catcher, Sandy Leon, is charged with an error. Sandy Alomar is coming out saying, hey, wait a minute. There was not catcher's interference. It was a funny-looking swing by Senzel, but it did look like on the swing he just did catch some of Sandy Leon's mitt. No score in this ball game. That's the second time already an Indians catcher has been called for catcher's interference in this young season. You might go a whole year and never see it called. And so the Reds, instead of a strikeout, now have runners at first and second. There's 1 out. There's no score here in inning number 2. And now Josh Van Meter, the left-handed hitting second baseman tonight, coming to the plate. Van Meter getting the start at second because of the injury, the quad injury to Mike Moustakas. Van Meter is from the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. Has spent 7 years in the minor leagues. San Diego and Cincinnati. The pitch to him, and he looks at a called strike. So the Reds, by virtue of that catcher's interference, they have a chance here for an inning to do some damage. Winker at second, Senzel at first. 1 down in this scoreless second inning. Indians again really bunching toward the gaps in the outfield, well off the lines and left and right. The pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Boy, does he have a long swing. Nothing into the count on Van Meter. Well, we want to send along our congratulations and birthday wishes to Sister Antoinette. 95 years young today, and her 70th Jubilee as a sister, all in the same week. The pitch, and it's swung on, driven toward left field, slicing towards the corner, foul and out of play, and still an 0-2 count. So, again, not only happy birthday, but congratulations to Sister Tony. 95 today, 70th Jubilee as a nun, and Sister Antoinette with the Congregations of Sisters of St. Joseph. What a legacy. Clevenger from the set, hands belt high, checks the runners, the 0-2, and it's a little high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Sister Antoinette, or as her fellow nuns call her, Sister Tony, all the very best, and by all means, the Indians owe you a win tonight. Now the 1-2 pitch. It's swung on and fouled back, and the bat goes flying to the backstop. What a bizarre inning we're having with not much happening. Sister Tony Campanella spent 51 years as a teacher at numerous Greater Cleveland Catholic grade schools. Her last teaching position was at St. Bridget in Parma, where she taught for 22 years. Huge Indians fan. 51 years she dedicated her life to teaching the youngsters. So, Sister Tony, thank you for all that you have done, and happy birthday. Josh Van Meter has his bat back, and the 1-2 offering. Bounced it in there, ball blocked by Leon. He'll throw to first. They've got Senzel hung up between first and second, tagged out by Lindor, and Winker goes to third. Great job by Leon. Ball bounced in there. He blocked it with his chest. Ball ricocheted out in front of the plate. Winker got a good break going second to third, and Senzel kind of got caught in between, and when he broke, it was too late. Leon threw to first baseman Carlos Santana, who threw to the shortstop Lindor, and Senzel may have run the Reds out of a potential big inning. So Winker goes to third. Senzel is retired, and that is the second out in the inning. And now the 2-2 pitch to Van Meter. And it's down in the dirt. Great scoop sliding to his left by Leon, and a full count. So in this inning, we've seen a catcher's interference. We have seen a batter swing and helicopter his bat to the backstop. We have seen a potential wild pitch turn into a runner running into an out. And we're still scoreless here in inning number 2 with 2 down. Now the payoff. And strike 3 called. He gets Van Meter looking. So it was. Well, the Indians and Reds are scoreless as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Carlos Santana will bat left-handed, and the Reds will overload the right side of the infield. TJ Antone in his first major league start. Texas kid who kicks, delivers, and sails the fastball high. TJ Antone's dad, Tony, played both football and baseball at the University of Oklahoma. Slider is in there, strike. His dad was a freshman on the 1975 Oklahoma Sooner football team that won the national championship. Now the 1-1, way outside a changeup, 2-1. His dad, Tony, was on that 1975 Barry Switzer coached Sooner team. The pitch fouled upstairs, Santana with a 2-2 count. That was a Oklahoma Sooner football team that won the national title because of the teams that got beat ahead of them in the bowl games. Ohio State was number 1 in the country going into the Rose Bowl and got beat by UCLA. The pitch swung on, dribbled foul to the right, and the count 2-2. That was one of the more shocking upsets in Rose Bowl history. Woody Hayes' Buckeyes were a juggernaut that year. Archie Griffin won his second Heisman Trophy. That pitch is high, full count. And they had clobbered UCLA in the regular season by over 20 points. And UCLA stunned them in the Rose Bowl. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased the high slider. And Santana is TJ Antone's first strikeout. 1 down in the second. That was Dick Vermeil and the UCLA Bruins, who shocked Woody Hayes and the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, led by the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, Archie Griffin. So the Buckeyes got beat. So the national title probably would have gone to Texas A&M. They were ranked 2nd in the country, and they got beat in their bowl game. And that opened up the door for Oklahoma. Here's Franmil Reyes, the DH, taking a strike. The hero last night with a 2-run homer in the 8th. Oklahoma had lost 1 game all year, and they were ranked 3rd in the country going into the bowls. The pitch waved at 0-2. And Oklahoma beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl. And by virtue of the Buckeyes and the Aggies losing, Barry Switzer and the Sooners won the national title. Now the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. And, of course, the Orange Bowl back in those days was always played at night. So they knew that the Buckeyes and the Aggies had lost earlier on New Year's Day. The 1-2 pitch, and it missed low, 2-2. That Oklahoma team featured the Selman brothers. Man, were they something defensively, and a little scat back running back who was an incredible collegiate player, Joe Washington. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt. Reyes chased it. 2 down. Second strikeout for Antone. I can still see Woody Hayes walking across the field to shake hands with Dick Vermeil. They had no business losing that game to the Bruins, but they did.
Tom, the way you set that up, and I know they play for a national championship on the field now, but that made New Year's Day.
That was New Year's Day, wasn't it?
It made it the best.
Here's Bradley Zimmer, left-handed hitting right fielder. I agree, Rosie. 2 outs, nobody on, no score. Zimmer shows bunt, takes a strike with a shift on the third baseman Suarez midway between second and third. I mean, now you've got bowl games on January 1st that, you know.
They don't mean anything.
It's a pecan bowl. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed 0-2. Yeah, New Year's Day used to be about as good as it got for college football fans. But now, I don't know. It just seems like another day.
Even New Year's Eve, you'd have the Sugar Bowl to kind of get you ready.
The 0-2. And it missed inside. Oh, Antone's off the mound on the grass area, heading to the first base dugout. Oh, boy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah. Now the 1-2. Swung on a little dribbler on an inside-out swing that gets through the left side into left field because of the shift. Antone thought he had struck out Zimmer. Then he jams him with that pitch and an inside-out swing, and Zimmer dribbles it through the infield to left field, and the Indians have their first base runner in hit. No score in the second. Jordan Luplow 0 for 16. The Blaster Corporation, based here in Cleveland, and makers of PB Blaster, #1 for loosening up rusted parts. Whatever the job, always use Blaster products and work it like a pro. Antone looking over the shoulder to first. Not much of a lead for Zimmer, but he's a threat to run. And the pitch is a slider, low, ball 1. Didn't it seem to like, and growing up in Wisconsin, it was like, well, the Badgers got to the Rose Bowl in '63, and they'll never get there again. But it was either Ohio State, Michigan in the Rose Bowl, Oklahoma, Nebraska, one of them in the Orange Bowl, Texas or Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl, one of Alabama or somebody in the Sugar Bowl.
Notre Dame would fill in and be an opponent for one of those.
Boy, that doesn't seem like it was that long ago. And there were not dinosaurs roaming the earth when that was happening.
Oh.
Pitch is in there to Luplow. 1-1 the count.
And you never had to worry about it. Is that team going to be bowl eligible? Because they're only 6-6 right now. Only the really good teams went to the bowls.
Will their great players skip the bowl game to get ready for the NFL draft?
Yeah.
Now the 1-1, and it's down low, ball 2, 2-1.
I think half the Division I schools in the country get to go to a bowl game now, maybe more than half.
Well, yeah. Now it's save your coach's job. Hey, we were 6-6. And we went to the Armadillo Bowl. Here's the 2-1 down and in, 3-1. It was held in Picacho Peak, Arizona. Anyway, T.J. Antone's dad was a part of that 1975 Oklahoma Sooner National Championship football team. He was a freshman. He didn't play, but still he was a part of it. Now his son fires a strike in there. Full count on Luplow. He's playing because Sandy Alomar really likes the at-bats Jordan Luplow has been putting together, working deep in the count. He's had a lot of hard outs. Now the payoff. Swung on, banged toward third, foul. And Sandy said, look, the way guys grinded out their at-bats last night, he said, I know we only scored 3 hits, but we had 12 hitters get into 3-2 counts. And that shows signs of progress. And so, same lineup we saw last night. No score in this one. Second inning, runner at first, 2 down. Luplow awaiting the 3-2 pitch as Zimmer will be off at first. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Chase ball 4. Slider down and away. Got him. And so TJ Antone has put up a couple of zeros. And the Indians and Reds still no scores. Galvis, Tucker Barnhart, then back to the top of the order for the Reds against right-hander Mike Clevenger. Freddie Galvis, switch hitting shortstop, longtime Blue Jay. Hitting .219 with the Reds, couple of homers, 5 RBIs. He'll swing it left-handed. The Indians will shift to the right on the infield. And Galvis will take a first pitch strike on the outside corner. The Reds are only hitting .213 as a team, but they've hit 18 homers. The Indians have hit 8. Reds are averaging shy of 5 runs a game because of the long ball. Pitch down and in, 1-1 the count. Well, Tribe fans, while you listen to the game, enjoy the great taste of Montgomery Inn, the official barbecue of the Cleveland Indians. Now the 1-1. And it's in there, a curveball strike, 1-2. Montgomery Inn ribs, they're available at your local grocer. They're at montgomeryinn.com. Montgomery Inn, without question, they are the ribs king. The 1-2. And it's off speed in the dirt. Ball 2, strike 2. Of course, Montgomery Inn, headquartered in Cincinnati. But boy, now you're lucky here in Northeast Ohio. You can order them online or go to your local grocery store. Good eating. The 2-2. Down and in, full count. Again, we thank President Evan Andrews for his generosity. Want to thank 2 of the Indians' terrific account executives, and Patrick DiBiasio and Brian Hofford. Now the payoff, down and in, he walked him. So Clevenger, with his first free pass, a leadoff walk in the 3rd by Freddie Galvis. Now the number 9 hitter, Tucker Barnhart, hitting .267 with a couple of RBIs. He used to be a switch hitter, and last September he stopped batting right-handed. So strictly a left-handed hitter. Really good catcher, former Gold Glove winner. And Tucker Barnhart will bat with a runner on, nobody out in the 3rd. We are scoreless in this ball game. Clevenger's ready, and the pitch. And it's a little bit low, ball 1. Thanks to Patrick DiBiasio and Brian Hofford and Evan Andrews, the president. Montgomery Inn will be getting some Montgomery Inn ribs, and we thank all of them. And we thank President Evan Andrews for not putting those duties in the hands of Rafi Collins. Now the set, throw to first, back standing is Galvis. Rafi does a great job as well as an account executive here with the Indians, but if food is involved, we will never see it. Now, he doesn't hide it very well, since he would have that great Montgomery rib sauce all down the front of his shirt and then say, well, what ribs? Now the 1-0. And it's low again, 2-0. So we thank Patrick and Brian for being upstanding and sharing the wealth.
Sometimes you can't fight hunger, Tom. The stomach wins a lot of times. And in Rafi's case, I think that's what happens most of the time.
24/7 he's hungry? Clevenger suddenly can't find the strike zone. Now the 2-0. And it's swung on, fouled upstairs, 2-1. We love you, Rafi, but we don't trust you.
These guys are never around anymore. That's
no one's around anymore.
We miss them.
We'll have the motorcycle gang going up and down East 9th Street soon. Clevenger's ready. Otherwise, town's pretty quiet. Now the 2-1. Swung on, hit high and deep to center. Mercado's going back, still back. He's got room, not quite to the track yet. And he'll fire it into second after the catch is made. Galvis will hold it first. Top of the order now, and Shogo Akiyama. 1 for 9 against the Indians. Akiyama grounded out to second his first time up. First ever Japanese-born player to play for the Cincinnati Reds. Akiyama, 5-time All-Star, 6-time Gold Glove winner in Japan. Left-handed hitter. The pitch to him, and he drives into deep left field. This is trouble. It is going to one-hop the wall. Luplow plays the carom, throws toward third. Galvis in standing, and in with a double is Akiyama, his second double in his major league career. So that was a good piece of hitting, as he smoked one the other way, a fastball, and he stayed on it, drove it over the head of Luplow and left. And the Reds have runners at second and third, one out in the third. No score yet. And their best hitter at the plate, Nick Castellanos, struck out looking his first time up. Castellanos has hit safely in all 11 Cincinnati Reds games. He is the first Cincinnati Red to do that since Barry Larkin in 1995. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt. Indians will overload the left side of the infield. Santana is even with the bag at first, but he's 35 feet off the line. And the left side of the infield plays back. The only play at the plate would be a one-hop smash to Ramirez at third. The pitch. Checked on a slider down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Castellanos is only the 4th batter to have 6 home runs in the Reds' first 11 games. The others, Wally Post back in the mid-50s, and then good friends and teammates in the early 2000s, Austin Kearns and Adam Dunn. And now Nick Castellanos. The pitch. And he checked, but did he go around on a slider? Yep. Appeal at first. Jerry Meals said, you bet. He went. 1-2 the count. Clevenger looking for the strikeout here, and of course that's his specialty. Last year, Clevenger averaged 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. Working out of the stretch, that right pitching arm dangling as he leans in to get it. Swinging it back and forth. Now he comes set, fires, and a slider down and away. Knocked down in the other batter's box by Leon, but too wide for Castellanos to even think of chasing. 2-2 the count.
Well, you look at Castellanos in that signing, 4 years. We just played the Twins, the Indians did, and saw Josh Donaldson 4-year contract. But you look at the Reds, they're catching Castellanos in the prime of his career, only 28, where I think the Twins are hoping to get some good years out of Donaldson at 34.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swung on, a little flare, shallow right, foul ground. Santana, the first baseman, grabbing it. Oh, big pop foul out by Nick Castellanos, and it keeps runners at second and third. Now 2 down, no score. And here goes Carl Willis to the mound. The Indians pitching coach has seen something. Yeah, that's a good point, Rosie. Now, the Twins didn't need another outfielder, and Castellanos has played third, but not very well. And what the Twins wanted was to tighten up their defense on the infield and move Sano. But I bet they wish Donaldson was 28, not 34.
Yeah, and the fit was there for them. But you look at where they are in their careers, and value-wise, the Reds might get a little bit more out of Castellanos when it's all said and done. We'll see, at the end of the 4 years. But, at least initially on first look, real nice signing for the Reds.
It's pretty obvious now. We saw Castellanos with the Tigers last year before he got traded to the Cubs. He looked very detached, almost disinterested. Knew the Tigers weren't any good. They were rebuilding. He didn't like the ballpark. And you thought, yeah, I don't know if that'd be that great a pickup. Boy, he went to Wrigley Field, and he became a superstar, and it's continued in Cincinnati. Now Joey Votto with a base open. Votto takes inside, ball one. Now, this may be a case where Carl Willis said, don't give him anything to hit. Just, if you walk him, you walk him. No score, runners second and third, 2 down. Eugenio Suarez, a right-handed hitter, waits on deck. Votto's hurt the Indians already. At that big home run the other night, that was a game winner. The set, the pitch, and he checked on a curve down low, 2-0. Well, do you just put him on now? Votto grounded out to second his first time up. He's now third on the Reds' all-time home run list with 287, tied with Tony Perez, the only 2 guys to ever hit more home runs as a Red, Johnny Bench and Frank Robinson. Clevenger's pitch. And a strike. Dropped the curveball in there. 2-1 the count. I would have thought George Foster would have had more home runs. There for a while, I mean, he had 50 home runs that year when nobody was hitting 50.
Yeah, he had the big year, but, boy, it just shows longevity sometimes and really come into play. And for Johnny Bench to do it out of the catcher's position. Oof.
Nobody was ever better. The 2-1 and a curve down low, 3-1. The Indians still have the shift on the right side of the infield, but the outfield not that deep and playing Votto the other way toward left. So all Votto is seeing is breaking balls. 3-1 the count. No score. 2 down in the third. Reds at second and third. And one wouldn't think he'd see a fastball. No reason to. Clevenger's next offering. A swing and a high drive to left field, not deep. Toward the line is Luplow. He'll make the catch. He threw him a slider, and Votto, Ford grand slam giveaway inning. Scoreless in the third. Sandy León straightens up and leans back from a little chin music. No score in this one. León, the switch hitting catcher. 2 hits and 19 at-bats. He's catching his 3rd game in a row. He and Bo Taylor had been alternating, but acting manager Sandy Alomar putting in León for the 3rd straight game. Bo Taylor will catch tomorrow. Now the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. Terry Francona still being evaluated by the great doctors at Cleveland Clinic. Feeling some better, but not ready yet to be back managing. That pitch in tight, 3-0. And we'll see if Tito goes this weekend to Chicago or maybe waits to get really strong when the club comes back home. That pitch again inside and a 4-pitch walk. Sandy León is aboard to start the third as we take a 10-second timeout on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
News Radio WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Indians and Cavaliers. An iHeart radio station.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze, bringing you Tribe Baseball. No score, Tribe and Reds, 3rd inning. Runner on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, the Indians have a new third base coach. It's Tony Mansolino, minor league manager, as Mike Sarbaugh has moved from third base to the bench to help out Sandy Alomar. The pitch and a breaking ball strike. Kyle Hudson coaching at first when Sandy became the interim manager. Oscar Mercado hitting 129, 3 runs batted in. The pitch. And it's in there, a strike. And the count 0-2 on Oscar Mercado. The Indians and the Reds, runs have been hard to come by, but boy, you could say that all over baseball. Talked about it last night. Major League Baseball off to a historically rough start offensively. Pitchers have been way ahead of the hitters. The 0-2 swung on, fouled upstairs, still 0-2. Patricia Walsh of Cleveland is tonight's contestant. If the Indians hit a grand slam here in the 3rd, Patricia Walsh of Cleveland will win a 2020 Ford Mustang convertible. Visit libertyford.com to enter. Maybe you can be the winner. Mercado checks on a slider low, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Reds love this kid. 5th round pick. Another guy that had his development really slowed by Tommy John surgery. Out all of 2017 and a good portion of 2018. Last year was in AA and AAA, went 11-12 with an ERA of 4. Now the 1-2, and it's a little low. Boy, he is throwing 95 miles an hour with sinking action. He thought he had another strikeout, and Jeremy Rehak has probably said, after that last little demonstration in the 2nd inning, walking off the mound, yeah, you're not getting anything close. The pitch, swing and a foul back, another slider, and the count 2-2. The Reds' starting pitching's been like the Indians. I mean, goodness gracious, they strike everybody out. They've got great arms, talking about Sonny Gray, and of course Trevor Bauer off to an incredible start. Luis Castillo, he goes tomorrow night. He might have the best stuff of any pitcher in the game. These 2 starting rotations are about as dominant as you will find in the game of baseball. So runs will be hard to come by whenever these 2 clubs face anybody. No one's going to score a lot of runs off the Reds or Indians rotations. The pitch, swung on, a little pop on the left side of the infield. The third baseman Suarez will pull it down, and Mercado is out number 1. Top of the order, and Cesar Hernandez grounded out his first time up. He'll bat left-handed. Well, Aaron Judge became the 2nd New York Yankee to ever hit 7 home runs in his first 10 ball games. He homered again today. But the New York Yankees got beat. They're playing a doubleheader, those 7-inning doubleheaders. They and the Philadelphia Phillies. Swing and a miss by Hernandez on a changeup. Even in 7 innings, the Phillies and Yankees went toe-to-toe. Philly wins it 11-7. But Aaron Judge, 7 home runs in the Yankees' first 10 games. Now the 0-1, and it's a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston and Tampa, they're scoreless in the 2nd inning. Miami leads Baltimore 1-0 in the 6th. They're playing a doubleheader. The pitch, high, 2-1. So Miami doesn't play for almost a week and a half, and they're doing nothing but throwing shutouts. One other game right now. Mets and Washington 1-1 in the 3rd. The pitch, and a slider down and in, 3-1. Indians Reds, 3rd inning. No score. Indians with a base runner, 1 down. Tomorrow night, it's a 6:10 start. Carlos Carrasco against Luis Castillo. Another heck of a pitcher's matchup. The 3-1 is wide, and Antone has walked 2 here in the 3rd inning. Cesar Hernandez will head to first, and trotting to second is Sandy Leon, and now Jose Ramirez the batter. Well, walks were the undoing for the Reds last night when their bullpen had a late inning meltdown. See if the Indians can capitalize now with their big boys coming up. Ramirez followed by Lindor. Ramirez popped to second his first time up. He'll swing it left-handed. Philadelphia with that win today, their record's 2-3.
How about Don Mattingly the other day? I think they had to add about 15 new players because of the ones who are still under quarantine, and he said, I haven't even met half of them.
The pitch, a swing by Ramirez, and a weak fly into shallow center, and it is dropping between everybody. And the Indians load them up on a bloop single to center between the shortstop Galvis and the center fielder Senzel. So Ramirez didn't hit it well, but he gets a bloop job to fall. And now Leon at third, Hernandez at second, Ramirez at first and Frankie Lindor. He'll bat left-handed. And Patricia Walsh of Cleveland. You could win a 2020 Ford Mustang convertible from Liberty Ford if the Indians hit a grand slam, and Frankie Lindor will bat with the bases loaded, one down. Third inning, no score. Lindor grounded to short his first time up. The pitch. A swing and a miss. Tardy on the fastball. Ramirez, that bloop single, breaks an 0-for-16 skid. He's at first. Hernandez at second. Leon at third. Infield back. No shift. Outfield, medium deep, straight away as Lindor cuts and misses. And it's 0-2. Lindor has struck out 12 times this year and walked only twice. Gorgeous 72 degrees in Cleveland, no breeze, blue skies. The pitch, swung on, dribbled foul right side, bounces into the Reds' dugout. And Lindor out in front on a slider. Now the Indians have not been real good this year. The few times they get men in scoring position, see if Lindor can turn that around. Meanwhile, Antone about to make his 60th pitch of the night. Here it comes. A swing and a double play ball to second. Van Meter to second one. Galvis doubles up Lindor, and the inning is over. The Indians and the Reds still no score. 3 in the books on the Cleveland Clinic.
Tribe and Reds, no score as we head to the 4th inning here in downtown Cleveland. Mike Clevenger back to work. He will face Eugenio Suarez, the cleanup hitter for the Reds. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton. Great to have you with us. Sport Tribe Baseball with the Indians back home. And don't forget, in this 4th inning, it's the Chick-fil-A double play inning. Use the Chick-fil-A app, and we'll tell you what you get if they turn a double play here in the top of the 4th. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. You'll get your free breakfast variety entree from any participating Cleveland, Akron, Canton, and Sandusky Chick-fil-A locations with breakfast available till 10:30. The 0-1 swung on, line drive foul down the left side, not a play. 0-2 the count on Suarez. But you do need to use the Chick-fil-A app to take part if the Indians can turn a double play here in the top half of the 4th. Mike Clevenger trying to get through the inning clean. The right-hander with the high leg kick, and the 0-2. Low and outside. Went with a slider that time. 1-2 the count on Suarez, who lined to first his first time up. Off to a slow start, just 4 for 40. Throw in 13 strikeouts. Here's the 1-2. Fastball in tight. 2-2. He did it his first home run of the season in last night's game, and he won't get the 49 that he got a year ago, but looking to have a big season just the same with much fewer games. Here comes the 2-2. Low and outside, ball 3. Again, a breaking ball, missed low and away. No runs, 2 hits for both clubs. Indians have committed the game's lone error. That was a catcher's interference on Sandy Leon. Now Clevenger with the payoff pitch. Breaking ball, missed outside and high, ball 4. So he had him in the hole 0-2 and then missed with 4 straight. So Suarez draws a leadoff walk. Here comes Jesse Winker. Winker, another hitter. Off to a real slow start, but a base hit his first time up. Now 4 for 27 on the season. In there from the left side against the right-hander Mike Clevenger. Indians put the shift on for Winker with 3 on that right side of the infield. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up foul and out of play off to the left upper deck. 0-1 the count on Winker. Winker saw regular playing time a year ago. Really a chance to get himself established at the major league level. Ended up playing in 113 games, a career high. Here's the 0-1. Fastball high and outside. 1-1 the count. Clevenger's hard stuff in the mid-90s, and that's always a good sign. It took him a little bit to get to that, mainly just due to mechanical issues, and pitching coach Carl Willis says they went to work on that again during his side session between starts this time around. Here's the 1-1. Waved at and missed. Tried to check it, couldn't do it, and it's 1-2 on Jesse Winker. Carl was saying that with Clevenger, there's some balance issues there, alignment issues toward home plate that they felt they corrected and should help him with his command, which was way off in the start against the Twins his last time out. And it does look a lot sharper this time around. No score through 3. Reds with a leadoff base runner. That's Suarez at first base. Here's Clevenger's 1-2. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball deep right center, but tracking it, the center fielder Mercado, and he makes the catch. Fired it in quickly, and Suarez remains at first base. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Nick Senzel. Dollar Bank is proud to be the official retail bank of the Cleveland Indians. Dollar Bank continues to be fully committed to customer needs and has been since 1855. Here's Senzel. Reached on catcher's interference that first time up. Good-looking young hitter. Bats from the right side. Clevenger sets and delivers. Breaking ball down low. Ball 1. Same 2 clubs tomorrow night. Final time this season for the Indians and the Reds. They'll play at 6:10 here at Progressive Field. So an hour earlier, we'll be on the air with Indians warm-up at 5:35. Carlos Carrasco against Luis Castillo. Another good pitching matchup. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball just missed down low. Not by much. 2-0 the count. Infield set up here at double play depth for the Tribe with 1 away. Suarez, the runner at first, being held over there by Carlos Santana. Outfield straightaway all the way around. The 2-0. Swung on, popped him up foul, straight back, and out of play off the window of the booth next door. And Rob Butcher, the longtime PR man for the Reds, taking cover just in case, but it hit the window up top. We don't get many up here, but that was close. 2-1 the count. Here's Clevenger's pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. So it's 2-2 on Senzel. Clevenger trying to find that good rhythm and really get rolling. Not there yet, and it might take a little bit for him, just based on how the spring went with the surgery on his knee. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, popped him up foul and out of play off to the right. So it remains 2-2. But just as spring training was beginning, Clevenger with that surgery on his left knee, I guess you call it minor because he was able to come back in a couple of weeks and actually was throwing bullpens just prior to the shutdown, but did not get much activity in spring training. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, popped him up right field. Easy play for Bradley Zimmer, who creeps in a step or two, and he makes the catch. Senzel retired for the second out in the inning. Runner still at first. That's Suarez for Josh Van Meter. See your Northern Ohio Buick dealers for attractive offers, including the all-new Buick Encore GX. Here's Van Meter, struck out looking first time up. Tribe nothing, Reds nothing. Top half of the fourth inning. Boy, each game in this series so far has been tightly contested, low scoring, good pitching, and it's turned on one swing of the bat on each side. Here's the pitch, and Van Meter takes a strike on the outside corner. Joey Votto's 2-run home run in the 6th inning on Monday night. That was the difference in a Reds win. And then last night, Franmil Reyes got it done in the 8th with a 2-run home run that snapped a 2-all tie. And the Indians won it 4-2. Here's Clevenger's 0-1. Outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Went changeup that time. Van Meter, left-handed batter. Indians play the infield to pull on him, the shift. Lindor, the shortstop, on that first base side of second. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, foul back into the net. Time for our Cleveland Clinic Caregivers shout out. And did you know that you have 206 bones in your body? And Cleveland Clinic cares for every single one. They're number one in Ohio for orthopedics. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/ortho. A 1-2 pitch coming to Josh Van Meter. Here it is. Fastball up. And the count's now 2-2. Last fastball, 93 miles an hour. So Clevenger right where he normally would be, 93, 94, occasionally 95. The right-hander's ready. Here's his 2-2. Called strike 3. Fastball at the knees. Catches Van Meter. Jay Antone back to work facing Carlos Santana, who takes a breaking pitch in tight for ball 1. Santana struck out his first time up. No score, bottom half of the 4th inning. Antone with a 1-0. Fastball high and outside. 2-0 the count. Antone's had good stuff tonight. Occasionally, command has gotten away from him. He did walk a pair last inning and worked into a bases loaded situation. The 2-0. Breaking ball down low. But he was able to get Francisco Lindor to ground into a double play to end the inning, and no damage was done. Now he's behind Carlos Santana, 3-0. The right-hander fires, and his pitch is inside, ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. So Santana, with his 11th walk on the season, trots on down to first base. 3rd walk allowed by Antone. Brings up Franmil Reyes. Tonight's injury report is presented by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, a proud partner of the Indians. For a team of injury lawyers dedicated to every client every day, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And some promising news on the injury front from Indians president of baseball operations, Chris Antonetti, before the game. Said Roberto Perez is progressing nicely, coming back from some shoulder issues. There's a swing and a miss by Reyes for strike 1 on a breaking ball. Looks like Perez will be continuing some light throwing and hitting tomorrow. He was doing that today, but getting closer with each passing day. Tyler Naquin scheduled to play in simulated games today and tomorrow, and that's going well as the next pitch is swung on and missed. And Delino DeShields feels that he's about ready to be activated, as he got that slow start to his season due to COVID before summer camp began. 0-2 the count on Reyes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, tapped foul outside of third base. Great to have Franmil on Indians warm-up tonight. Always fun to chat with him, and I gave a lot of credit to his teammates for getting him in the right frame of mind for the big at-bat in the 8th inning last night. Particularly Carlos Carrasco, a pitcher. He said Carrasco's encouragement got him going. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good off-speed again from Antone. Well, he's got impressive stuff. That's his 4th strikeout. 1 down in the inning. And Bradley Zimmer will step in. Reyes was of the mind going to the plate. Hey, just put the ball in play, get a base hit, and Carrasco's yelling at him, hey, hit a home run. Won't mess around. And son of a gun, if Reyes didn't go deep, and that helped the Indians win the ball game last night in Cincinnati. Here's Bradley Zimmer. Opposite field single his first time up. Pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Slider inside at the legs. Down below the knees that time. Tough to handle for Zimmer. Great to see Bradley Zimmer able to get out there and play just about every day with no injury issues. Been a while that he's been in that spot. The 0-1 swung on, ground ball to third, dug out by Suarez to second for one, on to first, double play. Wow, turned nicely by the Reds, and that was the shortstop, Galvis, making the turn. Freddie Galvis to lead things off, facing Mike Clevenger. Galvis walked his first time up. Last year, most of the season with the Blue Jays for Freddie Galvis as a regular on their infield at shortstop. Here's Clevenger's pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner. Mid-August was claimed off waivers by the Reds and was mainly at second base for Cincinnati down the stretch, as there's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2 on Galvis. Now in there starting most every day at shortstop for Cincinnati. Shift on for him, 3 on that right side, and Hernandez, the second baseman, way out there in shallow right. Now the 0-2. Off speed, just down low. Clevenger trying to drop that changeup on the inside corner at the knees. Just missed with it. Now the right-hander out of Florida. Into the line, the 1-2. Swung on, a chopper to the first baseman. Up with it, Santana. Flips to Clevenger covering. He's there for the out. And there's one down in the 5th. Time for our Cleveland Indians memorable moment, brought to you by the J.M. Smucker Company. Headquartered in Northeast Ohio, Smucker's makes food that people and pets love. And we take you back to this date, 2001, one of the great comebacks in Major League history, much less Indians history. The Indians rallied from 12 runs down and beat the Mariners 15-14 in 11 innings. Here's the pitch, and it's down low to Tucker Barnhart for ball one. Just the third time in Major League history in which a team trailed by 12 runs and ended up winning the ball game. Here's Clevenger's 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Holbert Cabrera with the game-winning hit. Kenny Lofton scored the winning run. The most unlikely of victories for the Indians that night. Down by 12 runs late in that ball game. Now the 2-0. On the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Indians play the shift for Barnhart. Not quite as much to pull. Lindor almost directly behind the second base bag. The 2-1. Just missed high and outside. Ball 3. Want to say hello to Ryan Brown. Ryan is our season ticket holder of the game. He's out of Cleveland. A 4-year Indian season ticket holder. So thanks for jumping on board, Ryan, and staying with us. Here comes the 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2 the count. Payoff pitch coming to Tucker Barnhart. Still hitless in the series, 0 for 7. Clevenger looking to put him away now on 3-2. Long look in. Now the high leg kick of the pitch. Swung on, and that's looped to the third baseman on the short hop. Picked up by Ramirez. Throws on the run, and he gets him at first base on a close play. Oh, that's a dandy of a defensive play by Ramirez. That ball just floated out there to the third base side of the mound, and Ramirez came charging in. There was a little English on it, but he was able to pick it with the glove on the backhand and still throw out Barnhart, who does not run exceptionally fast. And Ramirez had some time to get him, and he did, but a good play just the same. Top of the lineup, Shogo Akiyama will step in. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low. Don't forget, for a limited time, McDonald's is selling large drink koozies for just $5. Proceeds benefit Ronald McDonald House Charities of Northeast Ohio. The 1-0. Breaking ball, low and in. Tom mentioning earlier that Akiyama, the first ever Cincinnati Red who hails from Japan. And the Reds were the last team to have a Japanese-born player play for their ball club. The 2-0. Strike called on the outside corner, 2-1. And that's surprising. Every team had at least one Japanese-born player play for them. And now you can include Cincinnati in that. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball, strike called on the outside corner. Akiyama, a tremendous career in Japan with Hiroshima. 5-time Pacific League All-Star, Gold Glove winner on multiple occasions over there. Now the 2-2. Swung on, laced foul off to the left off of that netting, extended netting. Two and two the count. Outfield plays him to the opposite field. Big gap opens up in right center. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Clevenger. Fans driving Reds, no score as we head to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Tribe Baseball brought to you by Valley Ford Truck. Keep your business operating with Ohio's expert commercial truck dealerships. Valley Ford Truck and Valley Ford of Huron, your full-line Ford Transit and Super Duty trucks leaders. TJ Antone back to work. And he faces Jordan Luplow, who takes a pitch up high for a ball. And the count quickly 1-1 on Luplow. Bottom third of the Tribe lineup due in against Antone, who's allowed just 2 hits, as has Mike Clevenger. Both have been superb. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball down low. And the count is 2-1. I want to say hello to 2 huge Tribe fans, Ron and Jan Kienholz. We had a chance to meet them in spring training this year before the shutdown. And they contributed something very nice to the Indians archives. The 2-1, breaking ball down low. Ron and Jan stopped by the booth, and they gave us, which we promptly turned over to team historian Jeremy Fedor, a 1954 World Series and All-Star Game program, and they were in mint condition. Here's the 3-1. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. Luplow draws an inning-opening walk in the bottom half of the fifth inning. And it was great to meet them, Ron and Jan Kienholz. And thanks so much to them for contributing to the Indians archives. They have a great collection of memorabilia, and not often you come across a 1954 World Series and All-Star Game program, but they had one and decided to donate it to the Indians, and we thank them for that. Here's Sandy Leon. Walked his first time up. Throw to first, back safely is Luplow. Leon walked his first time up. 4 walks now by Antone. That's the only blemish on his game so far tonight. His stuff has been tremendous. He struck out 4 and limited the Indians to just those 2 hits, a pair of singles. Indians are trying to break through here in this scoreless game, and as we've seen in this series, it might not take much to win a ball game. As this one is in the middle innings. There's a pitch on the outside corner, but off the edge for ball 1. Leone kind of showed bunt. Not quite all the way squared around. Certainly Suarez at third base creeping in, thinking it could happen. Leone, switch hitter, left side. The average slow to get going for him, just 2 for 19 at the plate, but trying to help the Indians build an inning here in the 5th. The big right-hander, he goes 6'4", about 230. quick throw to first, back safely is Luplow. Tom mentioned earlier that Antone had Tommy John surgery, did not pitch in 2017. When the Reds made him a fifth-round draft pick in 2014, they saw him throwing in the mid to upper 90s. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And that was during his college days at Weatherford. They said, hey, big arm, let's go for it. But after the surgery, the velocity did not come back real quick, the 1-1. Bunt attempt and bunted foul at home plate. Leon squared late and tried to kind of bring that one with him up the first base line, but did not get it down, and now it's 1-2 on Leon. In fact, as late as last summer when he was making 27 starts in the minor leagues between AA and AAA, Antone's velocity was only upper 80s, occasionally touching 90. But he found the right formula in terms of his off-season workouts. The 1-2, swung on, ripped to first, foul ball, just foul. Past the bag and a diving Joey Votto. So we'll do it again on 1-2. But the Reds people saying that at his workout facility in Fort Worth, they really did a deep dive into what could help him regain that velocity in terms of the fitness programs he was on, the weight programs that he was on, and they found the right combo because he is back up there with good velocity, mid-90s, good breaking stuff. And the Reds have another potentially really good starting pitcher. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, just missed. Now this is not a pitcher who's in their rotation right now. They have some depth there. This is a spot start because of that doubleheader on Sunday. But nice to know that you can plug this guy in and tonight get 5 strong innings or close to it. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul back, and Leon continues to put together a real nice at-bat. He's staying tough here with 2 strikes, a 2-2 count now. Indians and Reds, no score. Try with a leadoff base runner on the walk to Luplow. Now the 2-2. Swung on, a chopper to first. Votto has it. Steps on the bag. No throw to second. Luplow is there. So Votto wisely hangs onto it. And, well, Leon doesn't get a sacrifice, but he moves the runner along. Grounds out unassisted to the first baseman, but Luplow moves up. Dominion Energy would like to remind you, whether you are an individual or contractor, state law requires that you call 811 before you dig to have those underground utilities marked. It's simple and free. Just dial 811. Here's Oscar Mercado. And with Antone at 82 pitches and making his first start of the season, David Bell's out to the mound. He has a right-hander loosening in the pen, and he's going to make the move right here. This pitching change brought to you by Cleveland Clinic. We're back with more in this scoreless game in the free Donut Fridays for DD Perks members with purchase. America and Cleveland run on Duncan. 28-year-old right-hander Michael Lorenzen comes on to pitch. This is 5th appearance on the season, 0-1. He's allowed 5 runs in 3 2/3 innings. But the Indians saw him at his best on Monday night. He had a 1-2-3 inning in Monday night's game. Early season ERA sometimes gets skewed by a bad outing or 2, and he had 2 back-to-back right out of the chute. But then scoreless baseball on Monday. And now here he comes in a situation with a go-ahead run in scoring position at second base, and Jordan Luplow. Oscar Mercado at the plate. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. No score, Indians and Reds. Lorenzen, one of the better two-way players in the game today. The Reds not hesitant to use him in the outfield. Solid hitter, can pinch run. Here's his pitch to Mercado. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. He throws hard, has a big fastball. That last fastball, 97 miles an hour. Good breaking stuff. Boy, speaking of two-way players, tough news for Shohei Ohtani. Joe Madden, Angels manager, saying that Ohtani will not pitch for the remainder of this season. He can still play in DH, but no more trying to do both after an arm injury. The 1-0. Breaking ball outside. 2-0 the count. So that's too bad. Ohtani, one of the great stories, and the Indians caught him early last season when he was starting to get fired up offensively. But it wasn't long after that where he had to have the Tommy John surgery. Now the 2-0. Breaking ball down low. Ball 3 to Mercado. Indians trying to build an inning here. And they might not need a base hit to do it. If Mercado can reach on another walk, 3-0 the count on him. Luplow walked to open the inning. Antone goes 4 1/3, allowed 2 hits, walked 4, struck out 4. So far, no runs. Luplow would go on his record. The 3-0 bounced in there, ball 4, not even close. So Mercado walks. And the Indians have something going now. First and second, 1 out. And this is the Reds bullpen. It has been a trouble spot early in the season. Coming into play tonight, the bullpen ERA, 6.21. That is 26th in Major League Baseball. And it let the Reds down last night. Tyler Mahle left with a lead. But the Indians tied it off the bullpen and won it off the pen late. Here's Cesar Hernandez. He walked his last time up. Switch hitter, left side, facing the right-hander, Michael Lorenzen. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low, ball 1. Lorenzen a year ago appeared in 73 games out of the Reds' pen. ERA under 2. A strikeout an inning. And at the plate hit .208 with a home run and 6 runs driven in. The year prior, really good year at the plate. Here's the 1-0. Down low, 2-0. That is 6 in a row outside the strike zone. 2018, Lorenzen batted .290. 4 homers, 10 runs driven in. 2-0 the count on Hernandez. The pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. Good fastball that time, and again, he's heating it up mid-90s. At last fastball, 96 miles an hour. Luplow at second. Mercado at first. Here's the 2-1 to Hernandez. Fastball, same spot, strike 2 called. On that inside corner, belt high. 2-2 the count on Hernandez. Outfield straight away. Infield playing Hernandez to pull, but not the full-fledged shift. Galvis right near second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball through the left side. A base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Luplow. Here comes the throw. It'll be close, then offline, and Luplow slides in safely. And the Indians grab the lead on the base hit by Cesar Hernandez. Oh, nice piece of hitting there by Hernandez. Mentioned Galvis, the shortstop, playing right near the second base bag. Hernandez hit it where the shortstop normally would be, through that left side. And just like that, the Indians snap the scoreless tie as Hernandez drives in his 3rd run on the season. And Tony Manzolino with his first decision as the Indians' third base coach tonight. Well, he tested the arm of Akiyama, and the throw was strong, but offline. It was up the first base side. And that allowed Luplow to slide in head first safely. So the Indians on the board, and now Jose Ramirez steps in with runners at first and second. Chance for a big inning now. The pitch swung on, ground ball to short. Galvis charging, flips to second for 1. No throw to first. Here comes Mercado down the line. He slides, safe at home plate. Oh, Mercado never stopped at third. And the second baseman, Van Meter, just a slight hesitation after the force play at second. And Mercado slid in safely at home plate. 2-0 Tribe. Manager Terry Francona talked about it throughout summer camp. He always talks about it in spring training, aggressive base running. But he thought maybe with the shorter buildup that aggressive base running could take advantage of some miscues. That was not an error, just the slightest of hesitations by Van Meter, and that allowed Mercado to get that front hand in there on the head first slide, and it's 2-0 Tribe. Now Francisco Lindor, and he takes a pitch outside and high for a ball. Ramirez is at first base on the fielder's choice. Lindor is 0 for 2 tonight. There's 2 down in the inning. Lindor has grounded to short, bounced into a double play. Throw to first, back safely is Ramirez. One and 0 the count. Indians able to score 2 runs here as Lindor looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Able to score 2 runs with just 1 hit. The 2 walks really hurt. They have both come in to score. Indians able to take advantage of control issues by Antone at the end of his appearance. And Lorenzen at the start of his. The 2-0. Swung on, line drive to left, and it gets down for a base hit. And there's a good swing that time. Good approach by Lindor. Just flicked the wrists and flipped it into left field for a base hit. And now the Indians have runners at first and second with 2 down. Just the 4th hit on the night for the Tribe, but that's been plenty so far in what is a 2-0 lead. Here's Carlos Santana. Santana has struck out and walked in 2 trips. He has just not gotten it going at the plate yet, but the walks are up, always a good sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball right side, but into the shift. Van Meter's there, flips on to first in time for the out, and the side is retired. But the Indians score twice, and they'll take a 2-0 lead into the 6th inning, which is...
Indians with a 2-0 lead. We go to the 6th inning as Mike Clevenger will face Nick Castellanos, the number 2 hitter. Indians load up the left side with 3 infielders. The righty-righty matchup begins with a pitch down low, ball 1. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you along with Jim Rosenhaus and Brian Matze on a beautiful night off the shores of Lake Erie. No breeze, 72 degrees under clear skies. Castellanos taking it's in there, and the count 1-1. The Indians getting the game's only 2 runs in the 5th inning. And again, they've manufactured some runs the last 2 nights, including the 5th inning this evening. The next delivery is a check swing. Did he go? Yep. 1-2 the count. Indians got their 2 runs in the 5th. Got a couple of walks to start it. Cesar Hernandez, an RBI single. Jose Ramirez hit into a fielder's choice, but aggressive base running, and Oscar Mercado scored from second. The wind and pitch, and a slider wide, and the count 2-2. Mike Clevenger's done the rest. He's blanked the Reds on 2 hits, striking out 4, walking 2. The young man that made his first major league start tonight for the Reds was very impressive. TJ Antone. Walks and deep pitch counts got him out of the game early. That pitch low, full count, but not a bad effort at all by TJ Antone. Boy, you have to like his stuff. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits, walked 4, struck out 4 in 4 1/3 innings. Now the payoff pitch to Castellanos, who's 0 for 2. And it's a little bit high, heck of an at-bat. And Nick Castellanos draws the 3rd walk off Mike Clevenger. That there was your game summary, brought to you by Ford, America's best-selling brand. Get you a station ID if we feel like it here in the coming minutes. Joey Votto is the batter, has grounded out, flied out. Nobody's working at the FCC. We're good. Votto with the Indians overloading the right side of the infield. Takes a little off the outside corner for ball one. Clevenger's pitch count now is becoming an issue. He's had 90. He's had a lot of deep counts tonight. The Reds have activity in their bullpen. Lucas Sims, a right-hander. Now the set. Now the pitch. And it's in there, a strike. Let's take 10 seconds for a station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
President Trump calling out the U.S. Postal Service amid possible mail-in voting. More coming up after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze with you. David Bell came out. Reds manager, I don't think he's enthralled with Jeremy Rehak behind home plate. Of course, everybody can hear what everybody else is saying in the ballpark, with nobody else in the park from a fan standpoint. The pitch, and Votto with a high drive into fairly deep right. Zimmer's back onto the track, and he'll make the catch. So Votto gave it a ride to the warning track in deep right center. But it is out number one, and here's Eugenio Suarez has lined out to first and walked. Last night, the Indians had some of their bench players sitting in the grandstand area, and they were barking at home plate umpire Jordan Baker. Baker yanked his mask off, looked at him, and he said, "Have you had enough? Are you good now?" Everybody shut up. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch to Suarez. And he looks at a called strike. Suarez coming off a career year in which he was second in the major leagues with 49 homers. Only the Mets rookie, Pete Alonso, had more, 53. What a great trade by the Reds getting this kid from Detroit. The pitch is high, snap throw to first, and diving back is Castellanos. Or no, he got picked off. Castellanos looking at first base ump Jerry Meal saying, "I had my right hand in there." And Castellanos isn't going anywhere, and the Reds may challenge this pickoff throw by Leon to first. 2-0 Indians. Right now the bases are empty with two down. And no question, Castellanos had that hand in there. So this call should get quickly overturned. And this is a David Bell managerial challenge brought to you by U.S. Safety Gear. Call U.S. Safety Gear for your corporate apparel needs at 800-686-1459. U.S. Safety Gear, the preferred provider of game day apparel for the Cleveland Indians. Now, the replay look up here would indicate that this call should get overturned, but it gives us a chance to tell you this sixth inning is brought to you by Great Lakes Brewing Company. Enjoy the crack of the can and the roar of the crowd with Great Lakes Brewing Company. It's the official craft beer of the Cleveland Indians and of the motorcycle racers down East 9th Street. The Indians with a 2-0 lead. Reds batting. Right now the bases are empty. 2 down in the sixth. And the replay crew in New York is checking this out. That gives us a chance to tell you Washington's Max Scherzer left tonight after one inning. He threw 27 pitches, gave up one run in the first inning, but did not come back out. So keep an eye on that. Boy, we have had so many key players being hurt. And the call is going to stand. Wow. And so Nick Castellanos is still in disbelief outside the Reds dugout. But his beef now has to be with the crew in New York. He is barking at Jerry Meals. And again, every argument, every little sarcastic comment everybody can hear, including the men in blue. Back to the wind, the 1-1. And it's down low to Suarez. 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City put Bubba Starling and Glenn Sparkman on the injured list. And just Nick Madrigal, the outstanding young second baseman for the White Sox, he's out. The pitch outside, 3-1. They had just brought him up, playing every day at second. But Madrigal separated his shoulders sliding into a base the other night. So that is bad news. The pitch down low, and he walked him. Boy, is that pickoff big now. Clevenger's walked 2 this inning and 4 in the game. He had 5 walks in Minnesota. And here comes Indians pitching coach Carl Willis as, again, the pitch count's starting to mount. It's at 97 now. And Dominic Leone throwing in the Indians bullpen, a right-hander. Also, on the baseball news front, and it just seems to be loaded with one injury situation. The Braves, they had to put their star second baseman, Ozzie Albies, on the injured list. It is amazing how many guys have been hurt, whether it's a byproduct of the ramp-up after being shut down for so long, after spring training was stopped during the pandemic. I'm sure nobody will really know until it's looked at during the offseason, but goodness gracious, it's only a 60-game schedule. You would think that teams would look at that and say, hey, that should help us stay healthy. It's been anything but that. Here's Jesse Winker, left-handed hitting DH, taking a slider in the dirt. And all of a sudden, Clevenger's just lost the strike zone again. 2 on if you don't have a pickoff with 2 walks. Now, this could have been big-time inning for the Reds. Instead, there are 2 men out because of the pickoff and 1 runner on. And Jesse Winker with a single and a fly out. The set by Clevenger. Shift to the right. Winker looks at a curveball strike, and the count 1-1. The outfield spread out, medium deep. The Indians have 3 on the right side of the infield, and the third baseman, Jose Ramirez, midway between second and third, playing like a shortstop. Winker has good power, but he hasn't gone deep yet this year, and the Reds only have 2 hits tonight. The pitch, breaking ball, down and in. Another good curve. Just missed, though. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. So Clevenger really fighting it here in the 6th inning with a 2-0 lead. Clevenger tonight has thrown an awful lot of breaking balls. Hasn't gone to his changeup hardly at all. The pitch, that's a high curveball. 3-1 the count. Clevenger has thrown 38 fastballs tonight, 39 sliders, and 18 curveballs. Only 4 changeups. So this a guy throws in the mid-90s. And he's gotten away from the fastball here lately. Now the 3-1 pitch to Jesse Winker. And he looks at a called strike. Came back with another off-speed pitch, and it's a full count, so Suarez will be off at first with the Indians up 2-0 in the 6th. Clevenger hands at the belt, front foot tapping up and down. The pitch, and he missed inside, went with another breaking ball. That may be all for Clevenger. 3 walks in the inning, 5 in the game. Sandy Alomar at the top step of the dugout, and he is going to make a Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Sandy Alomar, the Indians manager, in the absence of Terry Francona. And so Dominic Leone will be summoned here in the 6th. Clevenger walking 3 this inch. Sinking fastball, cut fastball, and slider. You can get it up there in the mid-90s. He'll inherit a 2-on, 2-out scenario. We're in the top of the 6th. Cleveland 2, Cincinnati nothing. Mike Clevenger made 103 pitches tonight. The issue for Clevenger was all of a sudden he lost command. And right now, Nick Senzel with one swing of the bat could put the Reds up. Senzel 0 for 1. Right-hander and center fielder. And Leone misses high for ball 1. Dominic Leone is appearing in his 4th game. He has given up a run in 3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, striking out 3, walking 2. Outfield, medium deep, straight away. The pitch. And it's waved at. Good cutter right there in the count 1-1. Indians picked up Leone in the offseason with the Cardinals last year. 6 years he's been in the big leagues, or at least parts of 6, with the Cardinals, Toronto, Arizona, Seattle. Now his look back at second and the 1-1. Swung on, chopped foul third base side, and the count 1-2. The Reds have J.R. House coaching at third, and Delino DeShields Sr. is coaching at first. Probably hoping to have a reunion with his son. I'm sure they saw each other. His son is ready to go, according to Indians president Chris Antonetti. He's been battling back from COVID and playing well in Lake County. Now the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a little tapper foul third base side. Still 1-2. Be very interesting to see what the Indians do tomorrow. Every major league team must get down to a 28-man roster tomorrow. And Major League Baseball made a new rule. It'll stay 28 for the rest of the year. Initially, it was supposed to be down to 26 after a month, but Major League Baseball, with all the doubleheaders coming up and postponements, will stick with a 28-man roster for the rest of the year. The pitch, swing and a miss. Chased a slider in the dirt. Good job by Dominic Leone striking out. Reds 2-0. Lucas Sims, second relief pitcher used tonight by the Reds. The 26-year-old right-hander, 6'2", 225. He'll take over. Michael Lorenzen went 2/3 of an inning in relief, gave up a run on 2 hits, walked a batter. The Reds' bullpen was really good against the Indians on Monday night. Then the Reds' pen struggled last night. Here is Franmil Reyes, 2 strikeouts tonight. Righty-righty matchup. Reyes looks at a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1. It's another kid with a good arm. Reds have a lot of good young power arms in that bullpen. Mid-90s fastball for Sims, curve, slider, change. Now the set, the pitch, and it breaks outside, a ball, and the count 1-1. The Reds bullpen has a .621 earned run average so far this season, and the bullpen has given up 10 home runs. Now the pitch, a swing and a pop-up. Into shallow right. Van Meter, the second baseman, now back onto the infield dirt, makes the catch, and Reyes is out number 1. Of course, Reyes got the game-winning home run last night off the Reds bullpen. But this is a good Reds bullpen. I mean, you look at who they have out there, they'll get it turned around. They're not lacking power arms or guys with a pedigree out there. They're just off to a rocky start, but got to like this entire Reds pitching staff for 2020. Here's Bradley Zimmer, 1 for 2 with a single. The pitch from Sims and a curveball and a good one. It strike 1 called. Well, the Indians have hit 4 base hits tonight. They hadn't gotten to that since the weekend in Minnesota. The pitch swung on, fouled back. It's just Been tough for the Indians here to get anything going consistently where you string together 3-4 hits in an inning. If the Indians get to 4 runs with this pitching, they're unbeatable. In fact, they're 4-0 this year when they score 4 runs or more. Problem is they've scored 4 runs or more only 4 times. The pitch, down and in, a ball, 1-2 the count. Getting back, though, to what we talked about in the top of the inning, with the Indians up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Bases empty, 1 down. As Lucas Sims, the former first-round pick, sets, delivers, and he missed down and in with a breaking ball, and the count 2-2. So clubs need to get down to 28 players tomorrow. It'll be a 28-man roster the rest of the year. The exception is you get to go to 29 players for doubleheaders. There's no restrictions on the roster as to how you comprise that roster. I mean, you could have 19 pitchers if you wanted to go with 9 position players. And the Indians will have some interesting choices to make. Now the 2-2 delivery. And it's off speed, a curveball high and wide, full count. Tyler Naquin's playing in simulated games, so he's close to being ready. Delino DeShields is ready. And the Indians already have a plethora of outfielders. They have 6. That doesn't include Franmil Reyes. Now the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled, off to the right. We'll do it again at 3-2. And Domingo Santana, brought to spring training as an acquisition in the offseason, has really struggled. And you wonder if the writing's on the wall in that he hasn't played now in the last 3 games against Cincinnati. The payoff, swing and a miss. We got that pitch in on the hands of Zimmer, and the first strikeout for Lucas Sims. That's out number 2 in the 6th. Indians with a 2-0 edge, and Jordan Luplow, the batter, has struck out, walked, and scored last inning. At some point, you assume Delino DeShields and Tyler Naquin will be with this big league club. You don't need 6 outfielders. It's just too many to get everybody enough at-bats. One would almost guess that at most the Indians will carry 5 outfielders. The pitch, fouled straight back by Luplow. And again, that doesn't count Franmil Reyes, who in essence is the DH and can play outfield, so that would give you 6. So some of these days are numbered. And again, the Indians have, in essence, 3 utility infielders. Here's the pitch to Jordan Luplow, and it's in there, a strike, and the count 0-2. And Yu Chang hasn't played in forever, and Christian Arroyo still doesn't have an at-bat. Mike Freeman is the one guy the Indians use in that utility role. Now the set in the 2-strike pitch, a swing and a towering fly, shallow left. Suarez and Galvis both near the line, and in shallow left, Galvis, the shortstop, puts it away. And Oliver Perez is coming on to pitch for the Indians as the 6-inning totals. Cleveland, 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 5 men left. For the Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They have stranded 6. Oliver Perez will face Kurt Casale. He is a pinch hitter for Josh Van Meter. Van Meter, a left-handed batter, and so the Reds will get Kurt Casale, the right-handed hitting catcher, to the plate, batting .235, couple of homers, 2 RBIs. Oliver Perez, fastball slider. Breaking ball misses up for ball 1. Mike Moustakas out with a quad injury tonight for the Reds. May miss tomorrow as well. The pitch and a backdoor slider for a strike, 1-1. Oliver Perez, he just keeps rolling along. 3 shutout performances so far, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed in 3 innings. Later this month, he'll be 39. The pitch. Breaking ball down and in, 2-1 the count. The Indians' bullpen has been pitching well lately. The last 6 games, this Indians' bullpen hasn't given up a run in 11 consecutive innings. And the Indians' pen has not yielded a home run this year. That pitch, it's a called strike. 2-2 the count. James Karinchak had that big strikeout in the 8th inning last night, warming in the Indians' pen. Now the set and the pitch. And it's swung on and missed. Fastball. And he elevated it, and at 89 miles an hour, Curt Casali chased it, and that's out number 1. Freddie Galvis, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Of course, we haven't really had to talk about it, Rosie, but the new rule this year implemented by Commissioner Rob Manfred, dictating that any relief pitcher has to face a minimum of 7 batters, hasn't seemed to be an issue yet, as Freddie Galvis, batting right-handed, takes inside a ball. And that means if you end an inning without facing 3 batters, that's okay. You don't have to come back out. But if you come back out the next inning, you have to face 3 batters total for the night. The pitch, outside a ball, 2-0. So you could have a guy come in, like Karinchak the other night, get an out, bring him back out the next inning. That would mean he'd have to face 2 more batters.
And what it does in this situation here for Perez.
He sets, he delivers. Galvis takes a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Originally, 2 of the 3 hitters were left-handed. It's going to force David Bell to go to his bench twice. Once for Casali, and he's got a pinch hitter on deck again. So he's burned 2 bench players.
Perez is ready, and the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, hit a ton to center. Back goes Mercado, still going back in front of the warning track, and Freddie Galvis gave it a ride, but it's out number 2. So 2 outs here in the 7th, with the Indians still on top by a score of 2-0. We invite you to visit your local Ohio Kubota dealer for savings on Kubota zero-turn mowers, utility vehicles, subcompact, compact, and utility tractors. For a Kubota dealer near you, just go and visit gokubota.com. Christian Colon, the one-time Royal right-handed hitter, will bat for catcher Tucker Barnhart. And the pitch, and it's swung on, bounced weakly to third. Ramirez plays it on the glove side, throws across, and 10-pitch Oliver Perez inning. This guy may pitch until he's 70. The Indian worked 2/3 of an inning last night, didn't give up any runs. The hard-throwing left-handed reliever will work for the Reds here in the 7th. 2-0 Indians. Christian Colon now at second. Curt Casali doing the catching. Lucas Sims, an impressive 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Well, runs have been hard to come by all season long. In this series, the Reds beat the Indians 3-2. Indians beat the Reds 4-2. Tonight, 2-0 Cleveland in the 7th. And why would you expect many runs against these 2 incredible pitching staffs? You have rotations on both sides that have multiple guys that would be aces on any other pitching staff in baseball. And so you expect this with the dominant kind of pitching that both the Indians and Reds have, not only in the rotation, but coming out of that bullpen. Sandy Leon will turn around and bat right-handed, cuts and misses at Amir Garrett's fastball. A Garrett fastball can get up there in the mid-90s, throws the sinker and the slider. 2 years, played college hoops at St. John's. While he was pitching in the summer in the minor leagues for the Reds. Hey, Coach, how come our power forward is driving a Mercedes? Here's the 0-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. Reds gave him $1 million to sign out of high school, but allowed him to play college hoops.
So it wasn't the boosters who gave him the Mercedes?
No. Don't get there, Rosie. I know you didn't go to St. John's. Right now, Lou Carnesecca is boiling over at that comment.
That is terrible. I'm sorry.
One of the great college characters and great college basketball coaches of all time. Check swing by Leon. He didn't go. 1-2 the count. They had that great team that year with Chris Mullins and company, and had to run into Georgetown in the Final Four.
And what a great coaching matchup. Louis Carnesecca and John Thompson. The tall and short of it, and both great coaches.
And the guy that was smiling at the end was Rolly Massimino. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul to the screen. We'll do it again at 1-2. But Garrett, in his 2 years for Steve Lavin at St. John's, scored 6 points a game, grabbed 4 rebounds a game, started half the time, and then realized after 2 years it was time to really get serious about baseball. And boy, any manager would love this guy coming out of his pen. The left-hander sets and deals, and it's a strike called, and Leon's out looking. 1 down. Now Oscar Mercado, the batter, has popped up and walked. Indians with a 2-0 lead, getting an RBI single from Cesar Hernandez in the 5th and manufacturing a run in that same inning when, incredibly, Oscar Mercado scored from second on a ground ball fielder's choice. Just aggressive, alert base running. And here is Oscar Mercado. He had walked that inning. He's popped up his other at bat. Garrett's ready. Here it comes. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. James Karinchak will work the 8th. Manager Sandy Alomar, who is holding that position until Tito Francona is back with the club in a few days. Sandy said both Brad Hand and James Karinchak were good to go. Mercado rifles one to right toward the line, reaching out and snagging it belt high is Castellanos. Tell you what, folks, Nick Castellanos has really improved in right field from when we saw him with Detroit. And that was a nice play going toward the line, especially in a 2-0 ball game. 2 down in the 7th. Cesar Hernandez, the batter. He'll swing it right-handed. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Got the RBI single in the 5th. Garrett's ready. Here it comes. And it's outside and to the backstop for ball 1. Whether you're shipping from or through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Garrett, with his back slightly angled toward the hitter, deals a high fastball, and the count 2-0. Amir Garrett, remember him last year having not only a great year, but one of the best things I think any of us have ever seen in the game. The 2-0 pitch. Down in the dirt, 3-0. When Pedro Martinez would drill Indians, which he constantly did, and back in those days, guys would charge the mound, Pedro Martinez looked like an all-pro cornerback, the way he would backpedal from the mound into left field to get away from the Indians, and then he'd have all of his teammates protect him. That pitch sails high, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Cesar Hernandez. Indians have walked 6 times tonight. Jose Ramirez, switch hitter, batting right-handed, 1 for 3 with a single. Not Amir Garrett. He went to the Pirates dugout and challenged the whole team. He ended up getting an 8-game suspension. But so many times these baseball skirmishes, you have players looking over their shoulder to see if their teammates are going to come out and protect them. They try that mano-a-mano thing. Pitch high, ball 1, but they really don't mean it. Not Amir Garrett. He went to the Pirates dugout and said, anybody man enough to come out here? 2-0 Indians, runner at first, 2 down in the 7th. The set, the pitch. and it's down low, and it's ball 2-2-0.
That ignited that brawl the night of the trade when Puig was traded here and caused him to be suspended for a couple of days as he jumped in on the action.
Indians weren't real happy Yasiel Puig was still playing because he could have been hurt in that brawl, and that was a big-time trade involving Trevor Bauer and, well, you know the rest of that story. Franmil Reyes, Logan Allen, Yasiel Puig. I mean, goodness. Puig still hasn't signed with anybody. Here's the set, the 2-0 pitch, and it sails high, and it's 3-0 on Ramirez, and this has become almost virus-like for the Reds in regards to everybody struggling to throw strikes.
Well, you wonder if Puig will just wait till next year, wait till the winter, and see what happens at this point.
2-0 Indians. Ramirez has the green light, the 3-0, and he took it in there, strike 3-1. Now, even though the Indians hitters always have the green light, that also is up to the hitter. Some hitters will not swing 3-0 because they feel they're too anxious, and they'll jump. See what Ramirez does here. 3-1 the count. Here it comes. And he takes strike 2. Threw him a slider. Ramirez sitting fastball. Full count. Well, I tell you what, there are not many guys anymore in baseball that are going to throw you 3-1 fastballs. Most of Major League pitching now, they're not going 3-1 with a fastball. The payoff, swung on, popped him up on the infield. This one is behind the mound on the grass. The shortstop, Freddie Galvis, makes the catch. And the old adage came through for Amir Garrett. James Karinchak was ready to go in the Indians bullpen, but Sandy Alomar had Oliver Perez warm up to start this 8th inning with a left-handed hitter due up to start it off. And then as the inning was about to start, Sandy popped out of the field. Now we know why Karinchak was summoned when he was. Philip Ervin had not been announced as a pinch hitter up here, but he had been announced to the umpire. So the right-handed hitter digs in, and thus Sandy Alomar went to the hard-throwing righty James Karinchak, and he cuts and misses strike 1. So Philip Ervin batting for Shogo Akiyama. Karinchak, mid-90s fastball, and that 12-6 hammer of a curveball. And there it is, strike 2 called. He came on last night, and he faced one batter, and all Nick Castellanos saw was curveballs, and he struck him out to end the 8th. Karinchak has been lights out so far. The 2-strike pitch to right-handed hitting Philip Ervin. Check swing and a curve in the dirt. Appeal at first. He went around, says Jeremy Meals. And Ervin heads back to the dugout, the 7th Cincinnati Red to strike out tonight. James Karinchak will get a lot of guys with that curveball. Karinchak has not given up an earned run in 5 outings, covering 5 1/3 innings. He's only allowed 2 base hits. And Karinchak has now struck out 10 and walked 2. If he keeps throwing strikes, he'll get a chance to be one of the dominant back-end guys in the American League. Nick Castellanos, all he saw were curveballs last night, and that's what he sees, but it's outside to start this at-bat. 8th inning, 2-0 Indians. Oliver Perez had a 1-2-3 7th. Dominic Leone got the only man he faced. Indians shutting out the Reds on 2 hits. The pitch, swung on, drilled to right, a base hit. Well, that's why you don't throw him a fastball. Castellanos finally saw one and now has a 12-game hit streak. The first Red to have a 12-game hit streak to start a season since Barry Larkin in 1995. Here's Joey Votto, 0 for 3. Karinchak looks around and sees the Indians infielders, 3 between first and second. Jose Ramirez, the Indians' third baseman, now playing the shortstop position. The outfield slightly toward left, not real deep. Karinchak's pitch to Joey Votto. And a swing and a miss on the hard stuff. Sometimes Karinchak can fall in love with that curveball. It's a dandy. But you also don't want to forget that you throw 95 miles an hour. Votto tonight, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Hits out of that crouch, spread at the plate. Chokes up a couple of inches on the bat handle. Karinchak's ready. He delivers. And a swing and a miss. High heat. 0-2. Carlos Carrasco, Luis Castillo. What a matchup tomorrow night. 6:10 here in downtown Cleveland. Castellanos, not much of a lead at first, held by Santana. Now the 0-2. Swung on a little weak bouncer to second. Hernandez to second one. Ramirez turns the double play. A 4-5-3 double play as the Indians have turned just their third. Brooks Raley. He primarily uses his cutter and his curve. He'll also throw a 4-seam fastball. He'll also sink it occasionally. So he takes over after Amir Garrett had a scoreless inning with a walk and a strikeout. Cleveland got 2 runs in the 5th. Manufactured one on some daring base running by Oscar Mercado, who scored from second on a fielder's choice. Cesar Hernandez, more conventionally, singled in a run. That's been it. 2-0 Indians. Frankie Lindor will bat right-handed, 1 for 3 with a single. Carlos Santana, Franmil Reyes, the heart of the order to follow against Brooks Raley. Raley will work out of the windup. And he kicks, fires, and Lindor watches it go in the dirt. A curveball for ball 1. Raley is making his 4th appearance. He's given up 4 runs on 5 hits, covering 3 innings. The pitch, and it's in there, a strike, 1-1. Raley's had command issues. He's hit 3 batters and walked 2 in 3 innings. Raley, the wind and the pitch, and it's fouled straight back. And Lindor down in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Raley, the southpaw, 6'3", 200 pounds, now 32 years of age. Into the motion, here it comes. And Lindor hits a high bouncer to third, chest high hop handled by Suarez, who effortlessly throws it across the diamond for out number 1. Frankie Lindor, 1 for 4 tonight. Here's Carlos Santana. 1 hit in his last 19 at-bats tonight. Strikeout, walk, ground out. Raley had pitched in Korea the last 5 years. And in Korea, he was a starter. Reds using him out of the bullpen. He delivers upstairs a ball. Before this season, his last major league outing was 7 years ago with the Cubs, 2013. The 1-0 in their strike. He had appeared in 14 games with the Cubs in 2012 and 13 and ended up in Korea the last 5 years. The pitch, swing and a foul off to the right, 1-2. I'm sure he made some money over there, which is why you go there if you think maybe it's not going to work out for you on the major league level. And 5 years over there, now he's back in the big leagues. Good for him. Played at Texas A&M. Now the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Check swing and a pitch in the dirt. He didn't go, 2-2. I don't think any of us knew much about Korean baseball until the pandemic. Now it's on every day.
Yeah, if he had stayed another year, he'd have been on national TV every morning. Sometimes in the wee hours of the morning.
With dozens watching.
Yes.
2-0 Indians, 8th inning. That tells you the love of the game when you're willing to go to another country like that for that many years. Now the 2-2. Swung on, weak bouncing ball, foul, first base side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Everstream is the business-only fiber network. If your business demands a high bandwidth, low latency network, well, then it's time to forget the big telecom status quo. Everstream, faster fiber, better business. Everstream.net. Raley into the motion. Here it comes. A swing and a pop foul into the seats behind the plate. And we'll do it again at 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 Cleveland here in the 8th. The Indians leading the American League in pitching with a team ERA of 2.40. Only the Dodgers are better in all of baseball. The 2-2, strike 3 called. Little cut fastball in the inside corner. And Raley strikes out Santana looking. 2 down in the 8th. Franmil Reyes, 2 strikeouts and a pop-up. See your local Toyota dealer. Check out the adventurous new Toyota RAV4, street savvy, off-road capable. RAV4 has redefined what a compact SUV can be. And for all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Outfield, straight up, medium deep for Reyes. Infield, pull to the left, but no shift. Raley's pitch, and it bounces in there for ball 1. Want to send out birthday wishes to Sonny Russell of Fairview Park. Happy birthday to Sonny Russell of Fairview Park. Now the 1-0. Swing and a foul back. Had a good cut. 1-1 the count on Reyes, who got his first homer of the season last night. Ended up being the game winner in the 8th. But he's scuffling. 1 hit in his last 17 at-bats. Now the wind and pitch. Down low, 2-1. Franmil talked his way into the lineup last night. Sandy Alomar was going to give him the night off. Franmil convinced Sandy to put him in there, and that's what makes you a great manager, listening to your players at the right time. Franmil delivered. The 2-1, swung on, banged on the ground to third. Dealt high hop, handled by Suarez, throws over, inning over, in the 9th inning coming up. Brad Hand had his most improved radio network.
President Trump calling out the U.S. Postal Service amid possible mail-in voting. More coming up after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100.
Tom
Cleveland.
Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze, and Stephanie Hagel with us.